Okay, I want you to imagine something for a second. Imagine you've been groomed your entire life to become a new world teacher, basically a messiah for millions of people. And then, right at the peak of your influence, you turn your back on all of it. You just walk away. Well, that's the incredible true story of Jiddu Krishnamurti. And it all really hinges on a single, powerful, and pretty radical idea. Truth is a pathless land. Seriously, think about that. In just 5 little words, Krishnamurti basically challenged centuries of organized religion and traditional thought. What he's saying is there's no guru, no sacred book, no pre-made road that can just lead you to truth. It's a shocking idea, really, and it's the absolute key to understanding the unbelievable choice he was about to make. So, this brings up the big question, right? Why would a man who was literally destined for greatness, with a whole global organization built just for him, refuse to lead? Why would he just stop? To get the answer, we've got to go back to the beginning of his story. All right, Section 1, the man who refused. So here's the quick backstory. Krishnamurti was born in India way back in 1895. When he was just a boy, he was discovered by a very influential spiritual group called the Theosophical Society. They were absolutely convinced he was the vehicle for a new world teacher. So they spent years and years grooming him for this role, building this massive international following around him. Then, in 1929, he stands up in front of all of them and does the unthinkable. He dissolves the entire organization that was created in his name. Just gone. So let's get into his core philosophy. Section 2, truth is a pathless land. You see, his big refusal wasn't just some random decision. It was the ultimate logical expression of this one central idea. So what did he really mean by a pathless land? It's actually pretty simple. He meant you can't find truth by following a guru or a leader. You can't find it inside a religion or a dogma, and you definitely can't organize it into some kind of system. He argued that the second you try to box up a belief, you kill it. The only way forward is through your own direct perception and your own honest self-inquiry. The responsibility? It's all on you. Okay, Section 3, freedom from your conditioning. So if this journey is totally up to you, what's the biggest roadblock? Well, according to Krishnamurti, the obstacle is your own mind. Or more specifically, all the conditioning that has shaped it your entire life. Think about it this way. On one side, you've got what he calls the conditioned mind. It's been shaped by absolutely everything. Your society, your culture, your family, your religion, your education. It's like a filter that you see the whole world through. Then, on the other side, there's the free mind. And the only way to get there is by becoming aware of that filter, by just observing it. You start to see how it works through awareness, observation, and self-inquiry. And this is a really, really important point. He wasn't telling you to fight against your own mind or to feel bad or guilty about your programming. That just creates even more conflict inside. The whole practice is simply to watch it, to observe it, without any judgment at all. It's about seeing how your automatic reactions, well, they aren't always you. A lot of the time, it's just your conditioning talking. Now we're getting to Section 4. The observer is observed. This next idea is probably his most profound and maybe his most difficult, but it's the key to ending all that inner conflict. It's this insight that the observer is the observed. Let's try and break this down. So normally you might think, that's the observer, am feeling angry. That's the thing being observed. You see yourself as separate from the anger, right? But Krishnamurti flips this. He asks, if you take away the feeling of anger, is there still an I who is angry? Or is the I, the thinker, actually created by the thought of anger itself? The big insight here is that the thinker is the thought. You aren't separate from the anger, you are the anger. And when you truly see that, the whole internal fight just dissolves. There's no one left to fight the feeling anymore. Let's move on to Section 5, a mind that is still. So what does all this actually look like as a daily practice? For Krishnamurti, it all came down to a very unique approach to meditation. His whole view on meditation was completely different from what most people think of. It wasn't about using some technique to achieve a special state, and it wasn't about using mantras to suppress your thoughts. For him, it was about what he called choiceless awareness. just effortlessly observing the entire movement of your own consciousness without judging any of it. He believed that real stillness isn't something you can force. It's what happens naturally when you finally begin to understand how your own mind works. So why does any of this stuff still matter today? Well, this quote pretty much says it all. In a world that's constantly demanding that we conform, a world that's filled with distractions and division, Krishnamurti's work feels like a radical call for individual sanity. He's asking us to take a hard look and question what it even means to be well-adjusted to a society that might just be profoundly sick. In the end, Krishnamurti doesn't offer you any easy answers, or any comfort, or some new system to follow. He just holds up a mirror. He points the way back to you, the individual, as the source of both the problem and the solution. So, in that same spirit, we're going to end this explainer not with a neat conclusion, but with a question for you. The journey is yours and yours alone. So, where will you begin?